Hello, 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 and a massive welcome to another incredible episode of Pure English. I'm your host, Alex, and I am absolutely beaming with excitement to be here with you today.
And I am Sarah. Oh my goodness, Alex, I can feel your energy through the floorboards today. I am just as thrilled to be back with all of our amazing learners from every corner of the globe. Welcome, everyone.
Today is going to be special, Sarah. It is going to be, dare I say, life-changing for our listeners. Why? Because today we are diving deep into the heartbeat of communication. We are talking about your daily life.
That is right. Sometimes we get so caught up in big, fancy words that we forget how to talk about the things we do every single day. Whether you're waking up, eating lunch, or heading to bed, these are the moments where real English happens.
Exactly. If you can talk about your daily routine, you can talk to anyone, anywhere, at any time. But before we jump into our morning coffee and our busy schedules, I have a very quick but very important favor to ask of you.
Oh yes, if you're enjoying our journey together so far, please take a tiny moment to hit that subscribe button right now. Give this video a big thumbs up and share it with a friend who is also on this English learning adventure.
It helps us so much, and it ensures you never miss a lesson. Are we ready, Sarah? Are we ready to master the art of daily life?
I am beyond ready, Alex. Let's get started.
Section 1. The Great Awakening, or as most people call it, the morning routine. Sarah, are you a morning person?
Oh, Alex, I want to be a morning person. I really do. But usually my day starts with a very specific sound, my alarm clock.
Ah, the dreaded alarm. Listeners, pay attention to this phrase. Sarah, do you wake up the moment it rings?
Definitely not. I usually hit the snooze button, maybe twice or 3 times. Eventually, I have to drag myself out of bed.
I love that expression, to drag yourself out of bed. It sounds so heavy, right? Like you're a sack of potatoes. I'm the opposite. I'm an early bird. I wake up at 6 a.m. sharp, and I wake up bright and early.
Bright and early. That's a classic. So, Alex, what is the very first thing you do once your feet hit the floor?
Well, first I stretch, I reach my arms up high, feels so good. Then I make the bed. This is a big one for our learners. We don't say do the bed, we say make the bed.
That is a great tip. I usually stumble into the kitchen first because I am desperate for caffeine. I brew a pot of coffee. The smell of fresh coffee is the only thing that actually wakes me up.
I agree. While the coffee is brewing, I usually jump in the shower. I like a quick cold shower to get the blood pumping. What about you, Sarah? Are you a long bath or a quick shower person in the morning?
Oh, definitely a quick shower. I have to get ready quickly. I brush my teeth, I comb my hair, and then I get dressed. Choosing an outfit is the hardest part of my morning.
I bet. What should I wear today? That is the eternal question. Once I'm dressed, I have breakfast, usually something simple like toast or cereal. Sarah, do you ever skip breakfast?
Sometimes if I'm running late. If the clock says 8:15 and I need to be out by 8:20, I just grab a granola bar and head out the door.
Running late. That is a phrase we use all the time. It means you are behind schedule. Okay, so we've woken up, we've showered, we've eaten. Now it is time for section 2, the commute.
The commute. This is how we get from point A to point B. Alex, how do you get to work?
I am lucky. I live within walking distance, so I go on foot. It takes me about 15 minutes. It is a lovely way to clear my head before the day starts.
I am jealous. I have to commute by public transportation. I catch the bus at the corner of my street. Sometimes the bus is packed.
Packed, like a can of sardines. Do you ever take the subway or the train?
Occasionally, if I'm going into the city center, I take the tube or the subway, depending on where you are in the world. And if the weather is terrible, I might even hail a taxi or call a rideshare.
Good one. And for those who drive, they have to deal with traffic. Oh, Sarah, I hate traffic jams. Sitting in the car, moving at 1 mile per hour, it is so frustrating.
It really is. People usually listen to podcasts or the radio to pass the time while they're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Bumper to bumper. That is a great visual. It means the cars are so close they're almost touching. So whether you walk, drive, or take the bus, you eventually arrive at your destination. Which brings us to section 3, the daily grind.
The daily grind. What a funny expression. It sounds like we're grinding coffee beans, but it actually just means our daily work or study routine.
Exactly. So when I arrive at the office, the first thing I do is clock in. Or if you work in a modern office, maybe you just log on to your computer. Sarah, what is your first task of the day?
I always check my emails. It's a mountain of messages every single morning. I have to sort through them and see what's urgent.
Urgent, meaning it needs to be done right now. I usually start the day by making a to-do list. I love the feeling of crossing things off my list. It makes me feel so productive.
I need to do that more often. My day is usually full of meetings. I have back-to-back meetings from 10 a.m. until noon. It's exhausting. I spend half my life on video calls these days.
Oh, I know the feeling. Can you hear me? Is my microphone on? We say those sentences way too much. But then the best part of the workday arrives. Lunch break.
Yes, the holy grail of the day. Alex, do you pack a lunch or do you eat out?
I usually bring a brown bag lunch, maybe a sandwich and an apple. It saves money. But on Fridays, my colleagues and I like to go out to a local cafe and treat ourselves.
That sounds lovely. I usually order takeout and eat at my desk while I work through my lunch. I know, it's a bad habit. I should really step away from the screen.
You definitely should. Taking a break is so important for your brain power. After lunch, there's usually that mid-afternoon slump where everyone feels a bit sleepy. How do you handle that, Sarah?
I need a second wind. I usually grab another cup of tea or a light snack, like some nuts or fruit. It helps me power through the rest of the afternoon until it's time to clock out.
Clock out or finish up. Around 5 p.m., I start wrapping things up. I save my files, tidy my desk, and say goodbye to my coworkers. See you tomorrow. Have a good evening.
And then the cycle repeats. But wait, the day isn't over yet. Section 4. After school or after work activities.
This is where the fun begins, or the chores. Sarah, what do you do as soon as you get home?
Well, the very first thing I do is take off my shoes and put on my comfy clothes. There is no better feeling than changing into sweatpants after a long day.
Absolutely. Total relaxation. But then reality hits. There are errands to run. I often have to stop by the grocery store on my way home because I realize I'm out of milk.
Ugh, I hate that. I try to do the grocery shopping on the weekend so I don't have to do it during the week. Instead, I usually do some housework. You know, the basics. Doing the dishes, running the vacuum, or doing the laundry.
Housework never ends, does it? It's a never-ending cycle. But it's not all work. What about hobbies? I try to squeeze in a workout at the gym 3 times a week. It helps me de-stress.
I prefer something a bit more relaxing. I like to go for a run in the park or maybe do some yoga in my living room. It helps me unwind after a stressful day of meetings.
Unwind. What a perfect word. It's like you're a tight spring and you're finally letting go. Some people like to work in the garden, some like to play video games, and others like to read a book.
And don't forget about socializing. Sometimes I meet up with friends for a quick drink or a bite to eat. It's so important to stay connected with the people we love.
I agree 100%. Even just a quick phone call to your parents or a text to a friend can make a huge difference in your mood.
Speaking of food, we can't forget about dinner time.
Ah, yes. Section 5, the evening routine. Sarah, are you a chef or a microwave master?
I try to cook a proper meal most nights. I find chopping vegetables quite therapeutic, actually. Tonight, I think I'll whip up a pasta dish. It's quick and easy.
Whip up. That means to make something very quickly. I usually look up a recipe online and try to follow it. Sometimes it's a success, and sometimes, well, let's just say I keep the local pizza place on speed dial.
We've all been there, Alex. After dinner, I usually clear the table and do the washing up. I can't relax if the kitchen is a mess.
I'm the same way. Once the kitchen is clean, that is my time to flop on the couch. I might watch some TV or catch up on my favorite shows on a streaming service.
Binge watching. We should explain that. It's when you watch many episodes of a show all at once. It's so easy to get sucked in. Just one more episode, I say, and then suddenly it's midnight.
Oh, I am so guilty of that. I start watching a documentary, and the next thing I know, I'm learning about the history of salt at 2 a.m. But we have to be careful because sleep is vital.
It really is. That leads us to the final part of the day, the wind down.
Before I go to bed, I have a little routine. I call it my sleep hygiene. I turn off all my screens, no phone, no tablet, no TV, at least 30 minutes before I want to sleep.
That is such a good habit. I struggle with that. I'm often scrolling through social media in bed, which I know is bad for my eyes and my brain. Instead, I should be reading a book.
Reading is the best way to fall asleep. I also like to set my alarm for the next morning so I can start the whole process all over again. And I always make sure to lock the front door and turn off the lights.
And then, finally, you crawl under the covers, put your head on the pillow, and drift off to sleep.
Drift off. It sounds so peaceful, doesn't it? Just floating away into dreamland. Unless you're like me and you start thinking about everything you forgot to do today.
Oh, Alex, you need to clear your mind. Practice some deep breathing. Before you know it, you'll be fast asleep and snoring away.
I do not snore, Sarah. Well, maybe just a little bit.
Sure, Alex. Whatever you say.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From the second that alarm goes off to the moment we close our eyes at night.
We really have. And for our listeners, the best way to learn these is to use them. Try to describe your day using the phrases we talked about.
Let's do a quick summary of the key phrases we learned today, just to make sure they stick.
Great idea. We started with the morning. Remember, wake up, hit the snooze button, drag yourself out of bed, and make the bed.
Then we talked about getting ready. We shower, brush our teeth, get dressed, and have breakfast. Or if we're in a rush, we skip breakfast because we're running late.
For the commute, we catch the bus, take the subway, or drive through traffic. If you're lucky, you walk on foot.
At work, we clock in, check emails, attend meetings, and try to be productive. We take a lunch break and eventually clock out at the end of the day.
In the evening, we run errands, do housework, and unwind with hobbies. We cook dinner or whip up a quick meal.
And finally, we wind down, set the alarm, and drift off to sleep.
That is a lot of English, but you know what? You can do it. Practice one section at a time. Maybe tomorrow, just focus on your morning. The next day, focus on your work routine.
Exactly. Small steps lead to big results. We are so incredibly proud of you for sticking with us through this long lesson. You are doing phenomenal.
You really are. Your dedication is inspiring. We love hearing from you, so please keep practicing.
And now it is time for the Pure English question of the day.
I love this part. Today's question is, what is your favorite part of your daily routine? Is it that first cup of coffee? Is it the quiet walk home? Or is it finally hitting the pillow at night?
Tell us in the comments below. Write a few sentences in English describing that favorite moment. We promise to read them. It's such a great way to practice your writing.
We can't wait to read your responses. Thank you so much for joining us today on Pure English. You are all superstars.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. It really helps our community grow.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep being awesome.
Have a wonderful day or a peaceful night wherever you are in the world. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you in the next one.